Hey everyone, Canadian here, back with another video, and today we're going to be talking about the Guardian Takedown. There has been a lot of community feedback about the new Takedown since its release, ranging from disappointment to outright rage. Now Gearbox has said that they're fixing the scaling of the enemy's health, however that's not all the complaints that I've seen about this new raid, and in this video I wanted to talk about and address some of the complaints that I've seen or heard about the new raid. So starting off with the most obvious problem with the new Takedown, the health scaling. The health scaling of the Takedown is an absolute disaster, and I don't know if it was intentional to make it so ridiculous, or if a member of the development team accidentally hit 0 too many times, but regardless of that, the health scaling of enemies is absolutely insane. At no point do I want to unload 3 magazines of my Monarch into a Manticore's face just to have it basically do nothing. I know that this point has been talked about in 1,000 different videos, so I won't rant for too long, but just know that they are working on changing the values of the enemy's health, and that fix should be out by Thursday this week. Another one of the biggest complaints I've seen is with the insta-death out of nowhere during the Takedown, and I'll admit that the first time it happened to me I was quite confused, but basically all that's happening here is the crystals are running out of charge. This is much less of an issue for cooperative play, but for solo play, you'll have to run through the crystals as they're charging to make sure they don't get low enough to explode. This mechanic really should have been explained much better than it was, and honestly, if enemy health wasn't so bad, it might actually be a fun game mechanic. Another very common thing I see people complain about is the bosses. I don't really understand why people don't like the bosses from this raid. Yes, they have a bunch of immunity phases, but quite frankly, both Anathema's and Scourge's immunity phases feel nothing like a lot of the immunity phases in this game. These bosses' immune phases are pretty fast, and they give you something more to do than just sit there and wait for the phase to be over. I honestly love the bosses from this raid, and I feel that they may actually be the best part of the Guardian Takedown. Another thing that I honestly haven't seen much people talking about, but is actually my biggest complaint, is the loot from the Takedown. Not only does this raid's new loot very rarely drop, but it also just feels so underwhelming. None of the gear feels worthwhile to fight through this huge challenge for. The only piece of gear that even feels like a decent choice in battle is the Globetrotter, but you have to fight through this entire 1 to 2 hour raid just to have a chance to get it, and at that point, you'd be better off with an ion cannon, which has a much higher chance to drop and a much easier farm as well. What are your thoughts on the new Guardian Takedown? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you all so much for watching, and I will see all of you in the next one.